This is yet another example of how far President Joe Biden's politicized Department of Justice is willing to go to try to destroy his main political opponent as a presidential election is going on. This foundational purpose of what the Biden administration is doing is really the thing that should be most concerning to everyone. As we can see all of these indictments, count after count after count, being thrown at former President Donald Trump, is clearly an effort to divert his focus away from the campaign and towards fighting on multiple fronts in these lawsuits, and to completely drain him and his campaign of resources so that they can't focus on actually campaigning and trying to win this election. The founders envisioned that our country would be a country of laws, not of men. And what we're seeing here, most concerning as it relates to the First Amendment, but you take all of these different attacks and indictments in whole, what we're seeing is a politicized Department of Justice that has disqualified itself from being able to fulfill the awesome responsibility that they're entrusted with, because they are using it, first of all, to go after their political opponents, namely Donald Trump and his supporters, and also using the Department of Justice to protect the Democrat elite, namely President Joe Biden and by extension, Hunter Biden. So we're seeing how this politicized Department of Justice is being used to achieve both of those purposes, both of which harm the American people's interests, the interests of our country and our democracy. And it is a tried and true playbook that you've seen, I've seen, we've seen happen over and over again, used against people, regardless of political party, who dare to challenge whatever their mainstream narrative is of the moment, who dare to challenge their authority is really what it comes down to. And you're right, I lived through it, was in the belly of the beast as they were throwing everything possible at me to try to destroy my character, smear me, discredit me, silence and cancel me, the whole thing. They're doing this to Donald Trump. They're doing it now to RFK Jr. We saw in the hearing that he testified at in Congress, on the hearing that was specifically speaking about the weaponization of the federal government and its attempts to censor voices, the American people. And the Democrat elite in that committee tried to censor Bobby Kennedy Jr. from speaking in that very committee about censorship. So the hypocrisy and the irony is glaring. They're not even trying to cloak it in anything. And it's something that we need to be very concerned about, and not allow their proclamations that they are doing this in the name of protecting democracy and this is what's best for the country and the American people. We can't believe that, because that's not what it is. It's about their power and protecting it at all costs.